be starting in 1 minute. Let's give you a forewarning.
Where the ladies at tonight?
Mervin is on her way. She's on her phone while we're in transit. I'm not sure where he'll. Yeah, I was waiting on the audio person. You ready? Okay.
Oh, really? You haven't done that? Oh, really? Oh, really? Okay.
Meg.
So what about the one after? Can we do this?
City Attorney, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
City Clerk?
Yes, sir.
City Manager?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Bowland?
Yes.
Commissioner Everett? Commissioner Mervin? Okay, she's probably coming. We'll see if that's her.
Yes, sir.
Vice Mayor Mervin, you ready? I call this City Commission workshop of the City of Pahokee to order on Tuesday, July the 9th, 2019 at 6:09 p.m. May we please stand for the invocation given by Deacon Bobby Colvin, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father, tonight we're thankful again for our city. God, I thank you for our leaders and for those that are here to watch what goes on in our city business. I just pray for your wisdom on this entire city, God, that we will be in your blessings. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Babb,
Present.
Commissioner Bowland,
Present?
Commissioner Everett,
Present.
Commissioner Hill, Vice Mayor Mervin,
Present.
City Manager,
Here.
Interim City Attorney,
Here.
City Clerk present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, staff, and thank each of you all for being here tonight to participate in our workshop of Tuesday, July the 9th, 2019. This workshop of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee is being held to discuss our July 9th agenda. We have a very short agenda, so hopefully we can get you out here in a very timely manner tonight. At this time, I would turn this portion over to our city manager to kind of lead us in the agenda review and discussion.
Thank you, Mayor. Commission, residents, visitors, thanks for coming out tonight. As the Mayor mentioned, we do have a short agenda tonight. We have 2 resolutions on the agenda. Mayor, Commission, we will have one addition for a presentation as well, addition, deletions, approval point of the agenda. Outside of that, you have the Mayor's report, City Manager's report, and if anything coming from the City Attorney report. And that'll be it, Mayor. Are there any questions on the resolutions? Resolution 2019-31, that's just a resolution supporting another city's development of a CRA that is looking for some additional letter support for their creation of their CRA. And then 2019-32, That is our proposed millage rate resolution that is putting us in the proper position to begin our budget workshops. And so we need that resolution to begin officially our budget workshops that are be coming in a couple of weeks. There's no actions required from this resolution. It just puts us in the proper position to allow the city clerk to announce our schedule and our proposed millage rates.
City Manager, I do have one question pertaining to Resolution 2018-31. Just wondered, did we receive any feedback or did any research of any possible controversy? I know CRAs is a good thing, but any resolution when other cities is asking for our support, I think it's just a good practice to kind of investigate to make sure that what they're requesting our support is not controversial in any nature to the extent where it just causing a division in a particular community. I'm not sure we always look at that, but that should be something we should look at to make sure it's not negative in our behalf.
Right. No, Mayor, this is just asking for municipalities to support this municipality's request from the county to formulate their own CRA. If we ever get in a position to want to formulate our CRA, certainly we'll be asking for those letters of support too that will go to the county. So now I know that village manager, and so they're just looking to create an additional extension for redevelopment for their city in many areas, and that's what CRAs are designed to do. And so there's no controversy there with providing them a support letter.
Okay, thank you.
Hopefully we'll get some of these support letters when we're in the position to formulate our CRA.
Okay.
They're very difficult, not difficult to form, but you know, it goes on, you know, the size of your city, the population. Once you're in a position to form a CRA, it's a good thing for your city. So.
Okay.
Mayor, if there are no additional questions on these resolutions, I do have tonight with us as well both of our audit firms that are here that work for the city of Pahokee. I would like to give them an opportunity to come in and provide you some additional information that will probably put a lot of minds at ease of what occurs in the city of Pahokee as far as accountability of our fiscal practices. Something that probably needs to be done on an ongoing basis. Mr. Rick Hartley and Associates, of course, they've been here for over 5 years as one of your independent auditors. You just hired a new audit firm. Their representation is here as well. But I want to provide them an opportunity to give you some updates and provide some information on what they actually do here independently for the city of Pahokee.
Are you asking both to make a brief presentation, and will it be in both the workshop session that you're requesting and the regular commission meeting, or one or the other?
It depends on what their timeline is. If they want to come up now and do some, and I know Rick wants to come up and give you some information. If they want to remain for the regular commission meeting, I'm certainly open to that as well. I was just, you know, sitting them into discussion, but it's up to whatever you prefer.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't have anything else for the workshop.
Okay, let me just briefly ask the city commissioners, are there any additional questions pertaining to any agenda items that you would like to discuss? In addition to that, if there are some lengthy discussion you may have on your own personal commissioner agenda, I'd like for that to kind of mostly get out at our workshops so that our regular meeting would not bog down at the end with questions that been pressing to you. I know we have an opportunity to speak with the city manager on a regular basis if we so choose, but I want to make sure we start at some point addressing some of our concerns during our workshop session. You can always follow up if you don't get the answer that you're looking for and need further discussion. But those are the two things. Any agenda items for discussion or any personal concerns of the city commission, and I'm going to start with Vice Mayor Mervin. Those two.
I don't have any no at this time, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
None at this time, but I think since we have the two auditing firms here, I would definitely make way for them.
Yeah, we definitely will, and if we run out of time, they're definitely on the agenda anyway, so Commissioner Bowden?
I'm good.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm
Commissioner
okay.
Hill?
I'm alone.
Okay. We'll yield to the audited form of firms.
Mr. Hartley.
All right, let me clarify first. I don't do the audit. That's Mr. Thomas over there. He's the one that's our new auditors. I'm like a financial consultant. I play part-time finance director. I come in and help them get ready for the audit. And so I work with the auditors. I used to do audits. I was a partner at a firm several years ago. And so what I do now is I go in to cities and counties and I help them get ready for their audit, especially the ones that aren't clear on how the audit process works. And I kind of work as the liaison between the cities or the counties and the auditors. So what I usually do is I will prepare schedules. I will reconcile things at year end. I will answer any questions that the finance department has on a daily basis, or I'm always available to talk to them. So, and then I come in every once in a while. I will help the finance department. I'll review the financial report that you get before it goes out to you, just as an outside view. So, and that's, pretty much in a nutshell. I've worked with the IG, not for them, but I work with them at several of my clients where they come in and do their audits. So, and I know that from speaking to the city manager, I know that y'all had approved them coming in. I don't have a problem with them coming in. That's just more eyes to look, make sure we're doing everything right. I would just ask that, since the audit firm will be looking at the procurement policy also, they check a lot of that stuff too. I would just ask that we delay them until they get through their audit. We're working on the September 2018 audit right now. We don't want to get behind on it. We don't want to get into the respect, if we get behind on it, then the state will start holding money from us, and we don't want that to happen. So, but I don't have a problem. Like I said, I work with them on several other clients. They're very thorough. They came in a year ago. They gave us a letter. Some of the same findings were in our audit report for 17, which we've been working on. So, but anyway, that's, if y'all got questions.
Got one question. I know you're hired and you work for the city commission under the supervision of the city manager, but
Correct.
my only concern is when you have a concern or a finding, that it be shared with the city commission.
Yes.
in writing, so we can at least help follow up and make
Yeah.
sure whatever recommendations are being addressed. I'm not saying they're not always coming to us, and I'm not saying there's any concerns, but any red flags, I think this commission, since you do work for us too,
Well, and I'll
need to
clarify
come to
that.
us.
I take direction from Chandler on
Right.
what he wants me to do. But I work for you guys, and if I ever found anything that I thought a problem with, then I'm going to probably start with you, Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm a CPA, I'm licensed, and I'm not going to jeopardize that
Mm-hmm.
for anybody, So I'm going to make sure if there's an issue, and like I said, I've discussed the findings with the previous auditor, the new auditors, we've discussed them a little bit too. And I know you guys get copies of those audit reports. We'll make sure in the future that there'll be a presentation that is done when the audit is complete, and you'll see, whatever findings, whatever we, and there's, along with the findings, there comes a management response. So you will see what we're doing to, correct that finding. So there's some that we're never really going to get out of, and I don't want to get into that. But I know if we have a finding that goes over 3 years, I usually write the letter, which you sign, that goes to the Joint Legislative Committee. So
Briefly, kind of give us your opinion of how we are financially, some of the checks and balance we have, or any concerns that you may have that maybe haven't been brought to our attention that probably need to be. If there are none, then we just need to hear that there's really no major concern. We
Right.
think you're doing overall a good job, or whatever the case may be.
And overall, yes, and that's from my personal experience. I know other people have different, but I've seen a genuine increase in how we're handling things since I've been here. You know, there's a lot more money in the bank. There's a lot more scrutiny. And I'll be honest with you, they scrutinize my invoice, and so I want to make sure that, and I look at a lot of invoices. I don't look at everything. The only area that we need, and we've kind of handled this, but is in our grant section. We need a little bit more, guidance in there. And I really say, because since I've been here, it's been a revolving door, and that's a lot of the problems we've had have been because of that. Chandler is technically my fourth city manager since I've been here. I don't know how many city clerks I've been through and grant people I've been through. And so when you go through those transitions, it's hard you're going to miss stuff. And that's why we have an audit. That's why we're going to have findings. And so we're going to make sure that, over the next year, we've got a new auditor coming in, which is a new set of eyes. They're going to be looking at things a little differently probably than the last audit firm. So there may be some things that come up, to be honest with you. But at this point, I think we're strong financially, and we're in a lot better shape than when I first got here in 2014. So.
Well, I want to say this. I want to ask this question, Mr. Mayor, if I may, to you, just to cut to the chase, not the hee-haw and go around the corner.
Go ahead.
And I'm glad to hear you state that you will not jeopardize your CPA license.
Oh, no.
For any of us up here. So is there anything going on from what you have seen and observed that would cause that would put us in a position to be to border the lines of criminal?
Not that I've seen.
Okay, that's all I want to.
And
that's
like I
because
said,
there has been suspicions and questions and concerns, and I just want to know, as a city, are we operating above board with your level of expertise?
As far as I know, and I would, those accusations, I deal with a lot of cities and counties, and I'm familiar with Facebook, and I know how that works. But if somebody's got a problem, if you guys got a question, I can get Ms. Clark to send you my cell phone number and my email address if you ever have a question, or if you see something, feel free to call me. But I can't do anything about things I don't know about. And what I'm saying is that I don't monitor Facebook. If somebody gets up and says that so-and-so is stealing money, I'm going to first ask them, how do you know that? What documentation? Or is this just I'm going to get sappy here. Is this just somebody throwing rocks? And I always look at those kind of people and it's like, okay, if you've got a problem, then join, get on the commission or on a committee or something. It's easy to throw rocks, especially when you're on Facebook. And I hate to be that way. I'm not on Facebook. I don't keep up with it. So, I'll leave it at that. So, but if you guys ever, if you hear something, feel free to call me. Like I said, I work for you guys. So, and I'm not gonna, if you want me to investigate something, that's fine. I'll look into it and I'll get back to you. So, but I can't deal with the, continuous Facebook, somebody's stealing money, somebody's doing this.
Thank you.
I don't know that stuff. So,
Thank you.
My final question to you would be, the city is currently on a, critical financial concern list from the state. Are you aware of that, the reason why we're there, and what have you done to assist the city in possibly, and we got a new auditing firm, and I'm quite sure they're going to be able to help
Yeah.
kind of clear up some of that and get us off of that in a short time period. But just for public information, so there's no misinformation out there, why are we on there and what are we doing to remove ourselves from that? And are we progressing toward that end?
Well, you know, I know we were on it
We were
in,
off.
for.
We
off
were
now.
on it. We're
Yeah,
off
we
that.
were on it.
We're off that.
Yeah, I'm sorry to
Not
be
on that.
confused, but it usually it boils down to what the state looks at. If you're not paying your bills, you're not paying your tax liabilities and all that, that stuff has all been paid for the last 2 or 3 years. Now, when I first got here, yeah, there was a problem with that because the money was not coming in, and a lot of it had to do with, we were spending money on grants, but not asking for reimbursement. So, you know, but let me check on that.
Let me ask city
We
manager
got
though, you
released-
say
we
we're
got
off
released
and
from
that's
that, yeah.
great, but something of that nature and that important, hopefully in the future, if we ever own, which we probably won't be, and I pray that we don't, that the city commission at a minimum can get the letter from the state.
Oh, they send it,
saying-
they don't send it to me, they send it to you.
They sent it to me. I don't recall receiving it, yeah,
They put us on it about 5 years ago before I got here.
right.
We got off of it about 2.5, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was shocked to hear that because
So-
a former elected official put a post around 2018 of last year stating how, you know, the city of Pahokee was removed off that blacklist from the state of Florida.
Yeah.
So we haven't been on there.
Because the auditors have to go through certain procedures, and they're the ones, it will be in their management letter, you know, so.
Okay, we thank you for your time, and we're gonna follow up, if you stay,
That's fine,
if
that's
some
fine.
additional question or another brief presentation. But we really want to also hear from the new auditing firm is here. We want to hear from them briefly.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor,
Good evening.
Madam Vice Mayor, members of the commission. My name is Thomas Williams. I am here from the external auditing firm of HCT, your auditors of record. As Mr. Hartley stated before, we do work for the city commission. And so what the city manager asked me to do is kind of walk through some of what we do to kind of, you know, educate the commission as well as citizens as our role and how it pertains to the city of Pahokee. Just to start off, this is my second day out here in the city. We started pre-planning for the audit. So at this process right now, we're looking at the policies and procedures, asking what are they? Take a sample transactions of, and to verify, are those policies and procedures being followed? Okay, they're being followed. Are they stringent enough? And are there any needs of improvement? And so the procurement process, that's something we would look at. How the money is handled when it's received, if you're billing somebody, how do you go about charging those rates? Those are the certain processes we look at during the beginning, the internal control process of the audit. And then when we come back out, we'll take a deeper dive into the numbers. Okay, you say you have $50,000 of cash, show us the 50,000. And so that's our role as your auditors. I will be getting with the city as well. I also have my card with me. This is your audit. And so I'll be contacting you, or you'll be contacting me. We want you involved in the process. So I'll be asking you, is there anything that you see, anything that you've heard, anything that we need to know, anything that you would like us to do so that you can rest assured that we're doing our job and providing you the information that you need. Unless there are any other questions, that's in a nutshell what we're brought in to do.
What was your last name again?
Thomas Williams.
Not related to me.
Thomas Williams. All right. Okay, thank you so much. I I don't know, you will have another opportunity if you chose to stay for another edition update. But this should include our workshop meeting. We will reconvene in 2 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get started, y'all. City Attorney, are you ready? Yes, sir. City Clerk?
Yes, sir.
City Manager? City Manager, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Boland?
Yes.
Commissioner Everett?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Thank you. I call this meeting of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, regular commission meeting, Tuesday, July the 9th, 2010, to order at 6:35 p.m. Will we please stand for the invocation given by the Reverend Lonnie Spry, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Most gracious and eternal God and our Father, as we come before you this evening, God, we don't know how to do anything, but we trust in you. We believe in you to lead us and guide us and direct us. Direct our leaders, Lord God, that's leading our city. We pray that you would bless them spiritually, physically, and Lord, I pray that you give them a guiding spirit, that they may lead us in the right path and lead our city into victory. In Jesus' name, we humbly pray. Amen. I will allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bab,
Present.
Commissioner Boland,
Present.
Commissioner Everett,
Here.
Commissioner Hill,
Present.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Present.
City Manager,
Present.
Interim City Attorney,
Present.
City Clerk, present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, staff, and thank each of you all for being here tonight to participate in our regular schedule commission meeting of Tuesday, July the 9th, 2019. We're gonna move right into our city commission meeting. We have a very short agenda, so you shouldn't be here that long. The first order of our business is to have the addition, deletions, and approval of our agenda items. At this time, City Manager, are there any addition from city?
Yes, Mayor. We have with us tonight the Susan G. Comer of Florida organization. They would like to come and give us some information on their organization here in the Glades and what they'll be doing for this area and this community here. So please let's welcome them on the area presentations.
Okay.
That's the Susan G. Comer of Florida. Did I say that right? Yes. Okay.
Okay. Just for clarification, are we having the Arlington group make another brief presentation, or they have done, or?
If there's no additional questions,
Okay. Any?
I don't.
Is the desire of the city commission, do you all need an additional report from any of the two presenters from the workshop? Everything clear? Okay, so we won't add that, okay?
That's all of the addition deletions, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, sir. City commissioners, are there any addition on behalf of the city commission that you would like to have added or deleted from the agenda? Hearing none, I entertain a motion for the adoption of the agenda with the added presentation.
One mayor, I'm sorry if I may, I'm not sure if this should go up under there, but we want to recognize that our 2019 King and Queen
Yeah,
for
that can
the
be- that can be just
ASB.
You can do it
Okay,
as an
that's what-
announcement,
okay.
right? Okay, great. Looking for a motion.
I make a motion to accept the add-ons, including the Susan Cromer of Florida.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Hill for the approval of our agenda items with the add-on. Call for question. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes, thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The agenda approved by a unanimous vote. Now we have citizen comments. You must have a comment card completed. Must be an agenda item only comment. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any comment card completed pertaining to agenda items?
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll move to our public service announcement. You also must have a public service comment card completed. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any public service announcement comment card completed?
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll move to the approval of the minutes. We don't have any minutes at this time to be approved. We don't have any consent agenda items at this time. We don't have any ordinance at this time. Now we'll move to our resolution. We have two resolutions. The first resolution is Resolution 2019-31. City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, in support of the creation of a Community Redevelopment Agency, CRA, within the Village of Palm Springs, Florida, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Commissioners, having had Resolution 2019-31 properly read into the minutes, what is your pleasure?
Mayor, may I make a motion to accept resolution 2019-31?
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Hill for the adoption of Resolution 2019-31. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes, thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution 2019-31 passes by unanimous 5-0 vote. Now we'll move to Resolution 2019-32. City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, setting the proposed millage rate for fiscal year 2019 through 2020 pursuant to Section 200.065 Florida statutes, together with a rollback rate establishing the date, time, and place of public hearings to consider the proposed millage rate and the tentative budget for fiscal year 2019-2020, providing for directions to the city clerk, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk, City Attorney, pardon me. City Commissioners, having had Resolution 2019-32 properly read into the minutes, what's your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to offer a motion that we accept Resolution 2019-32 for consideration tonight.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Everett and properly seconded by Vice Mayor Mervin for the adoption of Resolution 2019-32. Call for questions.
Could they give a brief description of it, just in case for citizens that are not, just a brief,
Okay.
very brief.
City
No
Attorney, could you
detail.
give a more brief description of Resolution 2019-32, maybe including the millage
Very brief.
rate?
Okay, so your, that would be your city administrator, Mr. Administrator.
Mayor, this resolution provides just a tentative announcement of our millage and our rollback rates. It prepares us for beginning of our workshop, our budget workshops, and then announces to the public what those rollback rates will be utilized as to come up with the taxable value on property versus the revenue we're going to get and all the taxes that will occur in the 2019-2020 fiscal year. So this is just an official announcement that we have to make, announcing our rollback rates tentative, and then announcing what our actual dates for the hearings will be once the budget workshops are completed. We'll come back and we'll have another resolution at the end of the budget hearings in September that officially secures what the millage rate will be for 2019-2020.
For the record, could you state the tentative millage rate that being proposed?
For fiscal year 2019-2020 is 6.5419, which is 6.5419 per 1,000 of assessed property value within the city of Pahokee. The rollback rate is 6.2157, utilized by the certificate of taxable value on June 27, 2019. Those assessments come from the county.
And usually, just for the audience, our tentative rate is normally the highest rate that we could actually propose. Normally it's lower than that, but it gives us that flexibility to raise it to the maximum. Most of y'all are aware that the fire rescue take a portion of our 10% maximum that we can actually charge our residents. So just keep that.
I missed one of the county city manager meetings, but it was, I don't know all of the information, but Pahokee was one of those cities, and I got to get the information because I missed that meeting with the county administrators association. Well, we were one of the very small cities that the county property appraiser saw an increase in business development. You might not realize it, but you have a lot of businesses that filed here in the city of Pahokee, be it home businesses, a couple of businesses that we've seen that have sprouted up. We were one of those small cities with the population that we have that the property appraiser saw an increase. I don't constitute that we'll get an extra $500,000 in our budget, but it's a positive that they mentioned us that we'll see some increase in revenue from the county, not by much, but it just lets you know that when you bring in new businesses, hopefully new housing, that will increase our revenue for the city of Pahokee. That's why it's so important that we focus on housing and economic development for the city of Pahokee, because it dispels or it equals more revenue for the city of Pahokee overall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, having had the questions answered, we'll call for any additional questions from the city commission. Hearing none, are you ready for vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes, thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution 2019-32 passes by unanimous vote. We don't have any public hearings, no proclamation. We do have an add-on presentation by the Susan Coleman, Florida.
Comer.
Coleman?
Colmer.
Coleman.
She'll get it right when she says it.
Sorry, organization.
Come on up.
Thank you.
This is the Executive Director for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And first, I just want to say thank you to Regina, Hannah Chandler for getting this on the meeting tonight at such short notice. And I'm so excited to be able to bring this new program to the Glades. I'm from Pahokee. My aunt passed away. Her name was Raylena Highslope from breast cancer. She lived out here. So to be able to bring this to the Glades is just very near and dear to me. And I'll let her take it over.
So thank you for having us out here tonight, and thank you to Heather Laughlin, who is being very modest right now because she's the treasurer of the board of Susan G. Komen Florida. We oversee the mission of Susan G. Komen for 64 counties in the state, but are headquartered right here in Palm Beach County. We work in the community to reduce breast cancer deaths. Our goal right now is to reduce breast cancer deaths by 50% by 2026. Since the founding of our organization, breast cancer deaths have been reduced by 38%. We currently fund grants to community hospitals and federally qualified health centers to make sure that women and men have access to screenings, diagnostic services, and treatment so that they can battle breast cancer. Right here in the Glades, we fund screenings out at Lakeside. Heather and I were out there and met with the team at Lakeside, and there was a real need to do some additional work in the Glades community. And so Heather, along with the team at Komen, worked very hard to raise some significant resources to bring them out here to the Glades, which we know is a high need area for breast health. 1 in 8 women are impacted by breast cancer in their lifetime. What we see from women that access our resources at community hospitals is about 75% of those are stage 3 or stage 4. So we know if we can increase access to screenings early, we can have a better health outcome. But we know for many people in the community, they need more services. And so we are super excited to announce that we will have a community breast health navigator located out here in the Glades specifically for this community, working with community partners to make sure that women and men have access to breast health care. Not only that, they'll work with community partners, churches, faith-based organizations, nonprofit organizations to address some of the needs that come up when you're battling breast cancer, such as you may not have transportation to care. The number one thing that we see from individuals battling breast cancer that seek this very innovative program that we launched last year is a need for food. and food insecurity. So our navigator will work with individuals to access those resources, to provide evidence-based education in the community, and to build partnerships in this community so that we are coming together around breast health and making sure that women have access to high-quality health care. And we're very excited. We received notice that the Community Foundation is supporting the program, and they matched another family foundation that wanted to make sure that this investment was in the community. Last year, we started the program in Delray Beach. The program has helped nearly 3,000 people. Of the 59 women that were individually helped by the navigator, 3 women were actually diagnosed with breast cancer and were able to get navigated right to care, making sure that no matter what their resources were, that they were getting the quality care that they need. So we are very excited to be out here in the Glades. We want to be a resource to you and to anyone that you may know that's either battling the disease or needs a mammogram or screening. There are resources that are funded by Susan G. Komen right here at Lakeside that individuals can access. So we're very excited to have the program start. It will start the 1st of August. We will be inviting each and every one of you to a launch event for the program. But we hope that you will get to meet the navigator and work with her, and that we can help more women in this community. So thank you for having us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. What, in this area, a lot of women don't have insurance. So how, like if they don't have insurance, can they still benefit from these services?
It's specifically designed for women that don't have insurance or are underinsured, and men. So they can come to the navigator, come to the education programs. The mammograms that are available at Lakeside are specific to women and men who are either uninsured or underinsured, who are at 200% of the poverty level for Palm Beach County. So those resources are available. There's also additional resources through the state and through other charitable organizations that the navigator will work to connect individuals to. Yeah.
And I have one quick question. You mentioned food. Is that kind of a Meals on Wheels kind of thing, or?
So in each community, it's different. We've worked with everything from emergency food pantries to the food bank, to churches and other organizations that can bring meals. So it's really specific to the individual in the community. So we'll be working out here to see what resources are available, what other resources are available in Palm Beach County that we can bring out.
Thank you.
Yep.
Again, thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time out to be here to make a presentation to our community. And thank you for your presence in Pahokee now and making a difference to our community health concerns.
Thank you.
Do you have a card?
I do.
Okay. And do you do local presentations at local churches and
So that's actually
events?
what the navigator will do.
Okay.
We have an evidence-based education program, and she'll be looking to have at least one session a week at a community organization, a church, a civic organization. We've done schools, so we want to get out there as much as possible and start creating a dialogue with evidence-based information about breast health.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a group I want to connect you with. It's some sorority and fraternities that social action programs are based on health initiatives. Thank you.
Now we'll move right into the mayor's report, which would be brief. That presentation was very timely. Cancer does not care who you are, doesn't care where you live, and doesn't care how old you are. Anyone can develop cancer, even a child. On July the 20th, the Pahokee City Commission will be hosting a breast cancer screening event here at the old high school cafeteria. We have flyers in the back. Again, it's gonna be on July the 20th at 10 a.m. There will be refreshments. There will be some educational presentation so people can learn more about breast cancer and ways to reduce the possibility of catching this disease. I'm just asking as a mayor and on behalf of the city commission that before you leave, if you would take one of these flyers, even if you're not able to take advantage of this program, I'm asking that you share it with at least one person in this community, especially those who may be uninsured, that they can get this screening. We need at least 20 individuals before the mobile van come out. They would still have their presentation regardless of the participant, but to get that van, because it's an expensive service, we need at least 20. The vice mayor, my wife, Mrs.
Can't think of her name, but.
2 or 3 others was out yesterday signing people and pre-registering those who may need this. So I'm just asking for you to pass the word and reach as many people as you can, and please take a flyer with you. We had a great 4th of July celebration and firework on the 4th of July on our beautiful marina. I think it was a great turnout from the community. In addition to that, we have had a business mixer at the Town Center Cafe. We had recently a Relay for Life and other events that sometimes it's not well attended. When you hear of an event, if you could help us get the word out, it would be very, very helpful to the community as well as the city. And we want to explore ways with our city staff that when we advertise, I know we have our marquee, and I'm hoping at some point that we can have a digital marquee to continue to spread the word when we have city-sponsored events or when we host an event in the city. We don't always actually sponsor an event, but sometimes we actually host one. The community picnic was a prime example. Great attendance, but it could have been a lot better, not only from the community, but even our staff. I kind of look around and see how many our city staff are participating, and there are no requirement for them to participate, but I hope they are being encouraged to come out and participate when we host an event. And certainly the commission as community leaders, if we can set an example and attend as many events as possible within our own community, it would kind of help get the word out also. And that concludes my mayor's report. Now we'll move to the city manager report.
Mayor, city has no report at this time.
Thank you, sir. Now we'll move to the city attorney's report.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. On the old business, we have the marina lease update and information on that, city attorney.
Mayor, I can answer that question. Since the last time we met, as I indicated, there needed to be a appraisal done on parts of the, well, all of the 35 acres and a section of the marina. That appraisal was selected by the state, and they were in town about a week or so ago taking pictures, and that appraisal will go to the state for the packet that will be presented to the governor and cabinet. So that's where we are right now with that. They will be presenting it to the governor at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you, sir. We have no new business. Brother Kirkpatrick, you're hosting an event, a gospel concert for unity. You mentioned it a few meetings back. Could you briefly give an update? When is it scheduled, the place? And I'm asking this commission, I think we all have agreed that we're going to support that event as much as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and all the commissioners. in our community. There's so much going on in our community, and we're going in separate directions when we all should be working together to try to do it. And what better place to do that in is that getting at the church and trying to pull everybody in together and just have a good evening for all of us to be able to come out and enjoy ourselves. And one event will take place at the United Baptist Church. That will be the part where the church part will be. And I've been working along with one of the other commissioners here and maybe trying to get some R&B, reggae, country, Hispanic, whatever you want for that Sunday afternoon. So we are definitely asking for support from this. The paperwork is just about ready to come together, and we really need to get it out. The date of that is going to be August 31st, and that's Sunday, which is the 1st. And I do have some paperwork that I am going to share, but after talking with a person, I need to make a few changes on that before I bring that to this commission. But we are definitely ready to go, and we really need this city support because after reading all of the rhetoric and all that foolishness on Facebook and the things that we're saying and calling folks roaches and different things like that, and just, our city our attorney just got here and people are posting her picture on the Facebook. That's not Pahokee. Pahokee is a lovely place. It's a place where we should come together and be able to reason together. Calling each other roaches, I've never heard of such a thing like that. And they know who they are. We're not going to get into name calling because we're trying to come together, Mayor. And you guys are doing an outstanding job. And regardless to what anybody think, these people that are sitting up, these are people, are degreed people that have went to college. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And whether you want to support it or not, that's up to you. But at least be respectful. In the past, we've had some people up here have done a lot of things up here, and we found some wrongness. We didn't call in nobody for that. We didn't call a vote for that. There was some wrongness done here, and we know who they were. But we kept that under the rug. And when they got out of office, now they're on Facebook, badgering our city, Mayor. And it doesn't look good. And then people are taking pictures of outside things that have happened so far long ago. They're taking pictures of it, talking about this is the worst city there is. But what happened when you was working here? What happened when you was working here? This city was in a bad shape. Now that's not popular and you don't want to hear it, but that's the truth. And we need to come together as a city and work together as a city. It doesn't matter what color you are. See, when cancer gets ready to come in, you can be green. Well, if it's about actions, then we need to show better action and we need to respect one another. And I don't care what your opinions are, still respect everyone that's in their respective place. If you can't do that, do something. I'm sorry, Mayor.
No, I was trying to get someone from interruption every time you make a comment. We appreciate those comments, and we look forward to that gospel concert and working with you and helping to unite this community further along than it is today. Okay, we have no new business. Now we're moving to the citizen comments and general concerns. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any citizen comment card completed?
Yes, sir, we have two. The first one is from Mr. Bobby Coven.
Bobby Colvin, 3096 Bacon Point Road. 2 weeks ago, I had agreed with the commissioner that had called for an audit. And I said I had suspicions. And the mayor afterwards said that because there were no red flags given, that he would vote against it. And so I sent the mayor some of my concerns by email since that time. And he gave me no indication that I was inaccurate with my list of concerns. But a number of months ago, someone violated commission policy by paying $150,000 in advance for work that had not been completed at the marina. Commission approval must be given for payments above 10,000. The company declared bankruptcy and thus no payback will be coming from them. And I hope my information there is correct. If it is, if someone approved more than 10,000 on their own, was any action taken by the commission against that individual? Now that an audit is taking place, I'm hoping that those that are doing the auditing will look at that situation and consider maybe some improvements to policy in that regard. I'm also wondering if somebody does approve something above what they're allowed to approve, can they be held responsible? And again, I'm just asking questions, and this is why I was in agreement that an audit was needed. Also, since the city commission has ultimate responsibility for all staff, I just hope there won't be any ramifications that come back, because if something was done out of order, that you didn't catch it, that you didn't ask questions. And I had one question too. I know that last year approximately $75,000 was spent on the credit card for travel. That seems excessive to me. And if that is the case, I would certainly hope that someone would go through and pay attention to what every single item was that was put there, to be sure that it was genuine city business.
Thank you, Mr. Cole.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, at this time, do we have any additional comment card from citizens?
Yes, sir. The last one is from Mr. Kirkpatrick.
I think that whenever they do come in, I'm sorry, Kirkpatrick, 187 West 5th Street, Pahokee, Florida. Whenever whoever comes in to do whatever, I hope that they go back to some years back and do some definite investigation on that, because what we talk about now, those things have been going on at this city for the longest. And nobody never stood up here and called and asked for no investigation on anything. But now that we're in a different position and different things have changed, people have been removed, then there's so many problems, as if we don't know what we're doing. As if when you bring up these things, you talk about if it is right. Who does an investigation on if it is right? You have to have evidence when you go to putting things out about people. You have to be able to put something on the table. Not talking about if it's right, or did they tell me that right, or did I read that right. You should know what you're talking about when you get up here. Not just putting people out there. We have a city manager here that's trying to run a city. He can't run the city because we got a few people running around on Facebook, videoing, doing all of this foolishness. But all before, when we were having all these problems, we didn't even have credit. We couldn't do anything in this city. There wasn't nobody videoing. They wasn't talking about nothing then, because they was getting everything they were done. And while we were downtown here, living in like slums, and care anything about that. There wasn't no preachers marching then. There was nobody doing anything. But now, because of this commission that they disagree with, see, that's what separates this city. You should be able to support everyone. And then we have a young lady that's coming here, a city attorney. She's afraid to even come in the city. And she ought to do something about it. So when you go to taking her picture and putting someone's picture and just slandering their name and you don't even know about it, you ought to be locked up for doing that. We need to lock them up, whoever's doing that, because we're trying to come together. The Bible said, let us be able to reason together. But ain't no reasoning because it ain't going your way. Today ain't your day, so you decide to do what you want to do and run around here and post things, right? And everybody is participating with that foolishness in our city. And our city is separated from. Now, the gospel singing is going to be on August 31st and the 1st. If you don't want to come, that's your business. If you don't want to participate, that's your business. But it is for everybody to come and enjoy, and we can stand beside each other and hold hands and clap and give God some praise. We can do that together for those that want to, and for those that don't, God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick. And I think the audience too, we had a minor comment from outside why those were comments were being made, but overall it was decent and in order, and that's how it need to be, whether you agree or disagree. When someone stands up there, give them their opportunity to express their view and their opinion without interrupting them, and that would be also appreciated. Thank you so much. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any additional comment cards?
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll move to the correspondent comments and concern of the city commissioners. And I will start with our Vice Mayor, Mervin.
Mayor, I don't have much to say tonight, but I just wanted to, two things, to just address one thing that Mr. Colvin said about the 150. In the contract, and Mr. Cole, I don't know if you read it or not. Did you read that contract from Techno Marine? Well, in the contract, I'm not even gonna just, maybe you should get a copy of that contract, and you will see that amount in that contract. I'm gonna leave that there till you see that. And then you see that it was approved by the commission at that time, but when you get that contract, you read that, sir. The next thing that we had our 2019 senior citizen prom, and we have our king and queen here tonight of the 2019 prom, and that was Mr. and Mrs. Colvin. If you could please stand. Those are.
Did I say something?
Yes, sir.
When we went to the prom, Belgrade was extremely well represented. South Bay was represented heavily. Pahokee didn't have so many. So to choose us, there wasn't a lot to choose from. You know, I don't know what I am, so I would like to see Pahokee be better represented.
Yes.
Next year. We enjoyed it. It was good food, good entertainment, just a good program, and I'd love to see some of our people there.
And if I can add, you all was very, very sharp, very beautiful couple. We was informed that Pahokee had the largest as far as pre-registered to attend. I think the number was like 75 to 85 person. We also had communication with the city to help transport those who couldn't be transported, who didn't have the transportation. So I don't know what the breakdown was there, but next year, you're right, we want Pahokee to have the highest number of attendance as possible. And that's why this commission was really 100% behind that project this year, but we got to do better.
Mayor, I spoke to one of the committee members and asked him if maybe next year they could rotate it and bring it to Pahokee. And then maybe that way we get a little better turnout. And once people go, like Mr. Colvin says, once you go and find out that it's a wonderful program and everybody had a great time and the food was excellent and everybody looked beautiful. Even the men looked beautiful, sir.
Vice Mayor, I'm sorry, interruption.
That's what you took my time, but anyway, but I want to say it was a nice event. And the next thing, Mr. Kirkpatrick, I thank you for your comments that you made tonight. Everybody will not agree to those comments, but it's the true comments. And it's real sad that we as a city, that we have to be so divided of opinion. every decision that we make, everybody's not gonna like the decision that we make, but hopefully and prayerfully that we make the decision that's benefit for the whole city. It's not about a black or white thing, and, yeah, you can always say, well, I think they should do it this way and they should do it that way, but, you gotta first, but how many of them steps inside the city and say, well, can you show me that process, how that process actually works? We can get out there and say, well, I think they should put it over here, but they don't work just like that. So I thank you for your comments tonight, that we need to come together. We really need to come together and stop all, because I'm not a Queen Roach. I'm not no one Queen Roach. My name is Clara Mervin, and that's who I was born to a father and a mother, and they did not name me Queen Roach. All right, so that's not who I am, and it's very disrespectful. Whether you like me or not, that's okay with me. I'm not looking to go sit at dinner table with you, but at least you give respect. I give respect to everybody, whether I agree with them or not, but I still give them much respect. So I hope and pray that we could come together as a city, and if you want it and you have any questions, seek the person where you can get the right answers from, instead of going out in the community and just someone that don't even work for the city to give you those answers. Find the person who's dealing with that and get the right answer, and start spreading rumors and all that. We need to stop it. We just need to stop it. We need to come together. We ask for economic development, and we're not the only ones looking at that Facebook page. Everyone everywhere across the globe is looking at that, but we can get on there and say, oh, well, this one need to go, the buffoon need to go, the monkeys need to go. Come on, we got to stop all of that. We got to stop that. You got to stop that, because I'm telling you, it's very, very sickening, and that's why it's going to get some legal actions behind it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Commissioner Everett.
Good evening, citizens. I do want to take this point, Mr. Mayor, to apologize to our city manager and to city staff. 2 weeks ago, I agreed and voted in support of something, in support of the IG coming in to do an audit. After thinking and reflecting, we had already approved an auditor coming in to review how we were doing things. I would echo the sentiments that Commissioner Mervin stated. You may not agree with every decision we've made up here, but there needs to be a level of respect and trust of the process. And so I want to say to you, city manager, and also to the city staff, my sincerest apologies for that, because before inviting the IG in, there should have been a respect of the process that has been outlined, with a auditing firm coming in, which we've all voted in support of them coming in to report to us their findings. And so I want you to echo those sentiments to city staff, especially those that work in finance, that I do offer my sincerest apologies, because before going to that step, I think we should have allowed the process to take place. And if we weren't satisfied then, at that point, then we take other measures. Again, I would also echo what Commissioner Mervin stated. It's a lot of finger pointing that we can do even prior to City Manager Williamson coming in. But I just would hope that we can get to a place as a community that, we can get beyond the elephant in the room. And a lot of the dissension and the problems that I feel that we have in our city goes back to race. And in my opinion, regardless of how you may feel, that's my opinion, and I will stick with it. I think it all goes back to race. But you all have a good night. But I did want to echo that to city staff.
Thank you, Commissioner Everett. Commissioner Bowden.
Yes, sir. I have one quick question for, I went to League of Cities meeting, and they talked about our emergency readiness and all of that. They said that we have 2 reps, each city has 2 reps for emergency operations. could you tell me, city manager, who are they?
The city manager is one, and my designee that serves on our emergency operating team. Typically, it's either the director of community economic development or my public works director as a backup. When we have an emergency, for example, for a hurricane, the county's how can I explain that? When we have a hurricane, pre-hurricane, there's a system that goes online for every municipality, and it asks several different questions: the status of your city, be it utilities, flooding, etc. Does the city facilities have services, have utilities, have power? And so I begin to answer those questions. I continue to respond to those questions throughout the emergency, post the emergency, because they need all that data to assess our needs post-storm, post-hurricane, or post-natural disaster. So I'm the lead on that, and then I select someone who takes my place, who serves with me. And typically it's the public works director, because that's the person that's on the ground with code enforcement, assessing ground damage, et cetera.
So, City Attorney, just for clarification, at this time, have you designated that
Yes.
backup person? Who is it?
Yes, that's our director of community economic development,
that's who-
and her assistant is public works director.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
And typically for law enforcement and first responders, the county designates typically it's Lieutenant Piccolo, and then he'll have designation of who serves with him for the law enforcement and first responders are concerned.
And do we have something that lets our citizens know where they can go in an emergency? Like, for instance, I mean, we're in hurricane season, so, yeah.
If our website was up, we'd have all that information on there starting in the season, but we're now pushing it over to our Facebook page. And then the county usually puts out the flyers. We haven't received them this year. They're the portfolios, the handouts that we give out to citizens across the city. We put them in strategic places like the grocery stores, the gas stations, et cetera, so they can pick them up. Usually the first line is the city website, but because it's down right now, we're relying on our Facebook page for that information. I don't think it's there yet because we haven't moved a lot of the information over as of yet. But we also get these pamphlets that the county passes out, but we haven't received those this year as of yet.
Okay, thank you. And then, there's one other thing. Oh, I just want to remind everybody that on the 15th, we're having the town hall meeting. That's going to be in the old cafeteria at 6 o'clock?
Correct.
6 o'clock, okay. And then July 22nd, we're having our first budget meeting, and that's also at 6 o'clock?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Hill, trying to get the final word.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I just want to say from the IG report and all the situation going on with the IG, first of all, I would just want to say when it comes down to a person's opinion, it's okay for anybody to express their opinion. That's how you feel. I can't change that. I don't want to change that. Now I know who you are, and I know how to deal with that particular person. I just feel that nowadays it's basically how you handle and you receive the information or that person's opinion. Are you going to be a part of the problem, or are you going to be a part of the solution? I just feel as a commissioner, we're here to provide, try to help the citizens or our city just get through and become a better place for our citizens. So I feel I didn't see anything wrong with having a report from IG, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's transparency. I still look at it that way. I don't see if it's a problem. I do understand there is a process. Trust me, I've been on both sides. I've been on that side where they come in and things come up. But I feel as though if there's nothing going on or nothing is any red flags, I respect the auditors, I respect the city attorney, but you do have citizens that have concerns. In order to bring those concern levels down or address those concerns, we have to have someone in there, almost somewhat like a mediator, someone that's not on any side, that's going to try to work with the auditors or work with the city and try to get things fixed. That's it. I'm not here to try to take anybody to jail. I have been down that road. I wouldn't put that on anybody. However, I feel that I have a job as a commissioner to make sure that all cohorts of our citizens are being listened to. I don't think it's just a certain, I think it's a lot of people. I've heard a lot of concerns, and I think just to bring those concerns down, just give a little transparency, let the auditors do their job, let whomever have to do their job to address some of those issues and see where we can move forward. And try to make this situation or our financial situation just get better. So I don't think I don't give any regret. I wouldn't take anything back. And if I'm wrong later on down the road, if something comes up and say, no, that wasn't the case, that will make me feel even better, because now you've had so many people talking and they didn't know what they were talking about, so they were wrong. So I'm okay with it.
In closing, just for public records, it was voted on, both requests was forwarded to the IG. However, they indicated that since we have an audit firm that is conducting an audit, they are not planning on conducting an audit. However, they will do a more extensive procurement process review. They just did one in October of last year. They're gonna do another one at the city request because the commission voted for that. So I just want to clarify that there won't be an audit by the IG, but there will be a procurement review by them. Okay. I thank you all. We got out of here in record time in less than an hour. It's at 7:28. Thank you for coming.